We are following breaking news for you this hour. We want to take you to New York now, where the state's highest court has overturned the rape conviction of movie producer Harvey Weinstein. The New York Court of Appeals finding the trial judge prejudiced Weinstein with improper rulings, including a decision to let women testify about allegations that were not part of the case. Weinstein was a well-known, powerful man, as you know, within the entertainment industry, and prosecutors say that he abused his power to take advantage of a number of aspiring female actors, like to coerce them into unwanted sexual encounters. Weinstein was arrested in 2018 and charged with rape and criminal sexual assault. He was found guilty in 2020 of both those felonies. Prosecutors say the testimony of those women, other than those whose claims form the basis of the criminal charges, spoke to Weinstein's state of mind to use forcible compulsion. A spokesperson for Weinstein saying they are happily surprised and studying the ruling that Weinstein is also convicted of sex crimes in Los Angeles and sentenced to 16 years in prison there. Because he's already convicted in California, he will not be released, but instead transferred to the custody of prison authorities in California. There's a lot to discuss here. Let's bring in our contributor and former NYPD Chief of Detectives, Bob Boyce, also our legal contributor, Brian Buckmeyer. Bob, first to you. I mean, you were the lead investigator on this case against Weinstein there in New York. What is your reaction to this decision?
It's discussed mostly. We put a lot of work into this thing, and when you look at it, this was a strategy that's got this overturned, not the witnesses. They found them credible and did a great job in heroic stand on testifying against Mr. Weinstein. So it's a difficult time for them to do it. They're going to have to do it again, and it's not fair to them to go through all that, testimony in that public glare. But that's what's going to happen. So everybody's very upset in New York right now about this.
Brian, what do you think? I mean, what played into this appeals court decision, you think?
So looking at the decision and also being one of the attorneys who sat and watched this trial, it was the fact that too many what we call Molyneux witnesses or uncharged bad act witnesses, meaning that they were alleged victims in a case, but none of their testimony was attributed to a charge. They were able to testify at length, and the court saw that the judge in the trial made an erroneous decision allowing that. And the issue is that he might have been convicted because of the propensity information, not necessarily the allegations that came out. And so, to Bob's point, yeah, the investigation was great, the witnesses were strong, but the strategy in which the prosecutors went about this, and also the fact that Weinstein might not have been able to testify because of the evidence against him, the court said that it has to be reversed.
So, Bob, the Manhattan DA's office could decide to retry him. What's the likelihood that that could happen, given today's decision by the appeals court? And do you think it's a good idea?
Oh, Kira, I believe he has to. This was a foundational case to the Me Too movement, and it started everything. It started the domino things of people in power abusing women. So I can't see how he doesn't do it. And I think he's already committed to it already. However, that's going to take a while. Bear in mind that Mr. Weinstein is wanted to do 16 years out in California, so he's not getting out of jail. But these things can't go. We can't let these things go past. He has to be retried.
Brian, if you were on the case, and if we do see a retrial, and that was you having to make an argument in court this time around for Weinstein, I mean, what happens? What does he say?
Well, I think the argument is that the number of uncharged witnesses or uncharged alleged victims that testified was too high. So now from a defense standpoint, it's a reevaluation of the case. To Bob's point, the victims, and we'll call them victims even though the case was overturned and because they were found to be victims by the jury, they were believed. And so the question becomes is, will their testimony lack any kind of strength because they won't have 4 other women that are also going to testify in a similar way? Or will you have a potential defense here because there may be fewer alleged victims testifying? It looks a little bit better for the defense here, but the only question is how much better?
All right, Bob, Brian, appreciate it. Thanks so much.